Hi, it's me, Dee. I just wanted to make a quick video. I always say that. They're never quick. But I wanted to talk some more about buying wigs used online from other sellers on Facebook groups and such. And some of the dangers, some of the things to look out for. There are unfortunately a lot of scammers out there, and I've been seeing it more lately in several of the groups. I've had people contact me and say they had a bad transaction with someone and ask for my help. And I've heard stories of some other scams that I wasn't even aware of myself. So one thing I would advise, if you're selling wigs online on the Facebook groups, you can also be scammed by a buyer. It's not always just the sellers that are scammers. Sometimes buyers can pull scams on the seller. So, anytime you're going to sell a used or unwanted wig, make sure you document everything. Take lots of pictures of the wig, save those pictures. Even if you have a video clip that you've taken of the wig, save all of that stuff for future reference, just in case there's any kind of dispute or claim. So you have records of exactly what wig it was, what kind of shape it was in. Make sure the photos are really good and clear. Show the outside and the inside of the cap. That can be important. Because a buyer could get the wig after you ship it out to them and you've already been paid. You ship them the wig, they receive it, and the next thing you know, you're getting a notice from PayPal saying that they're trying to get a refund and dispute the charge because you sold them a damaged wig. And you're thinking, well, what are you talking about? The wig was fine. But the buyer can claim that the cap had holes in it, or the lace was torn, or the bangs were cut, or all kinds of things. They can say that the wig they received was in horrible shape and it wasn't what they thought they were buying, that you advertised a new looking wig. And the thing is, you need to have photos of what you sent them to try to prove to PayPal that that's not true. But some people are getting really sneaky and downright shady. I've heard of people actually sending PayPal fake photos. Instead of taking an actual picture of the wig you sold them, they'll take a picture of maybe a similar colored wig, similar looking, but one that's been damaged, and send that to PayPal and say, well, this is what I received from the seller. When you can look at that photo and know darn well that's not what you sent them. But how do you prove that? It kind of turns into a he said, she said. And unfortunately, it's all up to PayPal to make the decision on who they believe and whether they're going to issue a refund or not. So, just keep all the proof you can. Videotape it if you can. Take lots of good, clear photos of the inside and the outside of the wig from all angles. Make sure you keep a copy of your listing, your ad that you posted, so you have all the details and exactly how you had it advertised, whether it said it was new or used, or whether it was in, good condition or decent condition, or only worn once, or whatever, I've just seen a lot of scary stories lately, and I want to kind of warn people to be extra careful. And as far as buyers, if you're looking to buy used wigs, you need to protect yourself and be really cautious who you buy from. You can definitely get scammed. Sometimes people have bought a used wig on Facebook and sent the money. Unfortunately, they sent it through PayPal, friends and family, which is not the same as normal business PayPal. That's goods and services. PayPal does friends and family just to, transfer money to friends and family, exactly like it says. It's supposed to be used not to sell goods or services. It's supposed to be just for, you know, hey, your sister's in a bind and she needs $100, so you PayPal her $100. That's what PayPal Friends and Family is supposed to be for. It's not supposed to be used to sell products, and definitely not supposed to be used by anyone running a business. The reason why a lot of sellers try to use Friends and Family is because they don't have to pay the 3% PayPal fee on that transaction. So, you know, of course they want to save a few bucks, and some people say, well, I'll only accept payment through Friends and Family because they're trying to avoid paying the fee. But the problem with that is the Friends and Family option does not offer any protection. There is no guarantee like you normally get with PayPal when you buy a product from a business and pay with PayPal. You get a guarantee. You're protected. So if that store scams you, you have some recourse. You can file a claim and do a dispute, and usually you'll get your money back. PayPal will make it right. But with Friends and Family, there is no guarantee with that. So you're out of luck. So my advice is, if you're shopping online in the wig groups like Flip Your Wig or the Hair Depot or, you know, Wigs for Sale or wherever, there's lots of wig sale groups. You know, look at the listing carefully, and if it's a person you know from some groups that you're in, maybe you've talked to them or chatted with them before, or maybe you've bought from them before, so you know you can trust them, then I would feel safe sending them the money through Friends and Family. If you know the person, you know, there's a few people online I know well enough that I would trust to do that. I don't think they're going to scam me. But if it's a total stranger that you don't know and you've never talked to or you've never even seen in the groups before, like a new group member just joined and started trying to sell wigs, I would not trust sending money through Friends and Family or Cash App or anything that doesn't have some kind of buyer protection guarantee. And if the seller says, well, no, I won't do it through regular PayPal because I don't want to pay the fee, then I would say either don't buy from them and just skip it, tell them no thanks, or if you really want that wig bad enough, maybe you want to offer to pay the fee. Just say, hey, you know, I only do business through PayPal Goods and Services, but I really want that wig, so I'll pay the 3% fee for you. I'll add that extra money in to cover the fee. And if the seller is honest and they have no intention of scamming you, they shouldn't have a problem with that. They should be willing to say, okay, if you pay the fee, I'll do it that way. But if they refuse and say, no, I won't do that, I only do Friends and Family, then chances are you can't trust them. I wouldn't trust somebody that did that, because if they're too afraid to use regular Goods and Services PayPal that has protection, then that would bring up a red flag to me and make me think that maybe they intend on scamming me. Maybe they're too afraid that, you know, something is wrong with the wig and I get it and I'm going to see that and I'm going to, you know, do a dispute or file a claim. So if they're kind of paranoid and afraid of it happening and they're not willing to go that route, then I wouldn't feel comfortable buying from that person. So, you know, when you're shopping for wigs online in the groups, look at the post. Is it detailed? Does it answer all the questions you have? If not, message that seller privately and ask all the questions you can think of. Ask about the shape of the wig. How many times have they worn it? Were they the first ones to own it? Or did they buy it from somebody else on Facebook used? You know, it could have gone through 3 different people and you wouldn't even know if they don't tell you. So you have to ask those questions. And also, you want to ask, my mind just went blank. I had a thought and it disappeared. You want to ask them if it's been through any other people. You want to ask details, the specs of the wig. Has it been altered at all? Have they trimmed the hair? Have they cut bangs in it? Have they, you know, put makeup on the lace or the part? Have they curled it, flat ironed it, restyled it in any way, made any alterations to the cap? Did they maybe cut off the adjuster bands because the cap was too tight on them? Or did they remove the comb that came in the wig cap or whatever? Just make sure you know if that wig has been altered or messed with in any way. Because some sellers don't tell you all the details, or they forget. You know, they may innocently forget to tell you those things. But those are things they should always tell you if they're selling a wig. You have a right to ask those questions. I like to check out the person's profile on Facebook. I'll actually click on their profile and go check them out. If I don't know the person and I haven't seen them around in the groups before, I check out their Facebook profile. And if their profile is set to completely private, where you can't view anything about them, you can't see what hometown they live in, you can't see, you know, where they work or anything, you know, any of their photos or their friends list or anything, I get kind of suspicious of that. You know, I know a lot of people like their privacy, and I understand that, but when it comes to buying and selling, hey, you know, we've got to protect ourselves. So if I see a profile that everything is private and I can't see anything about that person, or if they have no profile picture of themselves, they just have either a blank picture or a picture of some flowers or something, that sends up a red flag. I like to see the person I'm dealing with. I like to see an actual photo and know that I'm dealing with a real person, not some fake profile with a fake name that somebody set up just to scam people. Because unfortunately people do that. It's sad, but it's true. And you need to know about it. You need to be aware. There have been people in some groups that have even advertised free wigs. You know, they'll post and say that they have a few, you know, wigs that they only wore a couple times, but they don't really wear them anymore, and they're just going to waste, but they'd like to give them to somebody that needs a wig, and they're not going to charge you for it, but they do ask that you just cover the shipping, you know, so you're going to get a free wig, and they just say, well, just send me $10 to cover the shipping, and I'll send it to you for free. So you PayPal them $10 for shipping. And usually most people do that through, you know, friends and family, because nobody wants to pay a fee on that. And it's a small amount, so most people will say, oh, you know, nothing to worry about. So what they do is, you know, you send them your $10, and what you don't know is another lady sent them $10 for that same wig, and maybe 5 or 10 or 20 other people might have private messaged them and said, oh, I want that free wig, I'll send you $10 for shipping. So this scammer is collecting $10 from all of these people, and nobody knows about it because it's all being done in private messages. And next thing you know, a week or maybe 2 weeks later, when all these people start catching on that, I haven't received that wig in the mail yet. I sent her my $10 for shipping, and she hasn't sent it to me. And you start messaging the person and saying, hey, you know, I sent you that shipping money, and it's been a while now, and I still haven't seen the wig yet. Do you have a tracking number? And funny thing is, they won't return your messages. You know, they just, next thing you know, they either block you on Facebook so you can't keep messaging them, or they just don't answer you back. And in some cases, when several people have caught on and started bombarding that person with messages, they just delete their Facebook profile and disappear, because they can always go start another fake profile under a different name with another fake picture, and you have no way of knowing who they really are and hunting them down or getting a hold of them to try to get your money back. So, you know, you may only be out $10, but 10 or 20 other people might have sent them $10. So that scammer just made, you know, $100 for doing nothing but just being shady and posting something. And another thing to watch out for, if you see a listing for a wig for sale, or even a free wig, shipping only, whatever, and you do a transaction with that person, and next thing you know, you go back to look at the post and they deleted the post, it's gone, it disappeared, that's kind of a red flag to me too. You know, some people may delete the post after they're sold, but there's really no reason to, in my opinion. I think, it's customary to go back on the group on your original post and mark the post sold, so people know that this one's no longer available, it's sold. But, I don't think it's a good idea to just delete the post. Just mark it sold instead and leave it up there so people know. Because there have been cases where, somebody bought a wig from someone and it came and it was altered. It didn't look like the wig in the pictures. It looked like maybe it had been cut or trimmed or something like that. They contact the seller and the seller denies doing anything to the wig and says, well, no, that's the wig in the pictures that I sold you. And when the person goes back to find the original post to see the pictures to prove their case, oh, funny, the seller deleted the post. So now they have no record of the original ad. They can't even send that to PayPal and prove what the seller was advertising with pictures and the listing saying it was brand new and it was unaltered and all that, because all of it's been deleted. So now you have no proof. So a big tip, if you're buying used wigs, before you buy it, take a screenshot of the post. Make sure you get a screenshot and a picture of the listing. So that way, if anything bad happens and you have to contact PayPal, you have some kind of proof, of what they were advertising. You have the pictures that they listed and you have the detailed description of the wig. And if it says, brand new, still in box, unaltered, blah, 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 at least you have that proof that, hey, this is what the seller advertised and this is what I paid for and that's not what I got. But if you don't have a copy of that, it's harder to prove your case. So, I just guess I want to just make a point to let everybody know that, there are scammy people out there. It's sad but true. It's happening out there. I would say most of the people are pretty honest, but like I said, watch out for new people, new group members that just suddenly showed up and started selling stuff or buying stuff. Be leery and watch out for people posting, free wigs. Just send me the shipping, but I'll just give it to you for free because I want to donate a wig to somebody in need. That's a nice thing, and there are real people who are generous and do that and are very helpful. But, just be careful. Check out their profile. Do all the checking you can. Take screenshots of everything. And never pay through an unguaranteed payment app. Don't use PayPal Friends and Family or Cash App, or I don't even know the names of the other ones. There's other ones out there too. I think you can even pay right through Facebook itself. Facebook Messenger has some kind of payment thing like built right in that you can use. And I wouldn't feel comfortable sending money through that. I would only use PayPal Goods and Services, where I'm going to be protected and have some kind of recourse in case something happens. And like I said, if somebody doesn't want to pay the 3% fee, then, you can either skip it and tell them no deal, or offer to pay the 3% for them. Just tell them, well, I'll add, another $5 to cover the PayPal fee. And if they're not willing to do that, then I would be leery. I would not buy from the person. I would only trust people that I know very well to send them money any other way. Otherwise, if it's a stranger and somebody I'm not real familiar with, it has to be guaranteed or I wouldn't do it. Always check out their profile, keep screenshots of everything, take good pictures. Some people have even started videotaping themselves. Like if you're selling a wig and you've advertised it online with pictures and everything, they videotape themselves, here's the wig I'm selling, here's a good clear, picture of what it looks like, and I'm putting it in the box to ship to this customer. They show themselves putting the wig in the box and sealing it up. The box has that person's name and address on it. And that way you have a videotape record in case that buyer tries to scam you and get a refund from PayPal saying, oh, well, I paid for this wig and they never shipped it. I never got it. Well, then you have proof that, hey, I videotaped myself putting it in the box and shipping it to them. Definitely always keep your tracking numbers. Keep records of that stuff. Keep receipts. When you go to ship a wig at the post office or UPS, keep the receipt, keep the tracking number, and keep your eye on that package. Track it and see when it gets there and when it says it's received by that person. If it's delivered to their address, then you should be good. But even then, it can be marked delivered, and that person can suddenly say, "Oh, well, I never found the package. Even though you say it was delivered, I never found any package on my porch. It was never delivered." So they may try and pull that, in which case, they would have to take it up with the shipping company, either UPS or FedEx or the post office. It could be a stolen package. They could be telling the truth. You never know. But some people have tried to scam, sellers by claiming they never got the package, even though it shows it was delivered. So that's something they would have to take up with the shipping company. That should not be your problem. Once you ship it and you provide the tracking and it says it was delivered, it's kind of out of your hands. But, you definitely want to keep records of all of that stuff. And, as far as PayPal, they will help you out if you've used goods and services. But like I said, people can use fake pictures sometimes and claim that this is what was in the box when it isn't. Usually, if you win a dispute with PayPal, they will require you to return the wig. They won't just refund your money and let you keep it. Usually they'll have you send the product or the wig back to the person you bought it from, and as soon as they receive it, then PayPal will make sure you get your refund once they have their wig back. But some buyers have actually gone as far and been as sneaky and snaky as to put a different wig in the box and ship it back to the person. Instead of, like let's say I buy a $200 John Renault wig from someone, and I get it, and then I contact PayPal and say, "Hey, I spent $200 and bought this wig from someone, and they said it was in new condition, and it's horrible and ratty, and, I want to file a claim." So they'll want to see pictures, they'll want to see proof, and so I can send them a picture of a ratty looking wig that isn't even the wig that you sold me, and tell them that this is what was in the box. And if I win the dispute and PayPal says, "Well, okay, we're going to let you return it, you send it back to that person, and as soon as they get it, we'll refund your money." And what do if I'm dishonest? I take a ratty cheap wig that isn't the John Renault wig, and I put that in the box and ship it back to the person. And then I have a tracking number from the Postal Service or UPS proving that I shipped them a package back, and as soon as it's marked received, that they received the package, PayPal's going to refund me that money. And instead of putting that $200 wig in the box, I put a $20 crappy Halloween wig in the box. How would PayPal know any better? They've already refunded me the money. So, there's things like that to just be aware of. People are very, very clever and sneaky when they're scamming. So, keep records, take pictures, videos, keep tracking numbers, keep all that stuff for a while after the transaction is over, just in case one or the other tries to come back on you and pull some crap later. Just keep your records for a while until you're really sure that it's all over with and good before you go deleting stuff. Always check out profiles thoroughly, and don't be afraid to ask around in the groups too. If you see, sorry, my camera cut off for some reason, but if you see a brand new member in the groups starting to sell something and you really want to buy it, but you're not sure if you trust the person because they're new, they just showed up, and maybe their profile is private and you can't see much about them or whatever, don't be afraid to ask some other group members. Ask around and see if anybody else knows this person or has bought from this person before. Ask for references. If you don't feel comfortable posting in a group and asking for references on somebody by name, then, private message that seller and ask them. Say, "Hey, I see you're new in the group and I'd like to buy that wig from you. Have you sold any before? Do you have any references, maybe other group people you've sold to that you could, that could vouch for you?" And don't be afraid to tell them, "Hey, I've been scammed before, so I like to be careful, and And if they're an honest person and they're not planning on scamming you or pulling anything, they should have no problem with that. They should be willing to give you references if they've sold before, or tell you, well, so-and-so in the group knows me personally, or, whatever. I mean, whatever they can do to help you out and give you more peace of mind and make you feel at ease. And if they're not willing to, or they act, offended or upset by then my advice would be move on. Don't buy it. Find somebody else to buy from. Just don't trust something if it seems fishy or shady. If you get a bad gut feeling, go with your gut. Just be careful and play it on the safe side, because too many people are getting scammed and losing money, and then they get scared to buy from other people selling wigs. And a lot of the people, most of them are legitimate and need to sell some of these wigs that they're not using to, recoup some of their money. But the scammers are scaring off a lot of newbies that are new to this. And, some women are new to wigs and couldn't afford a brand new one, so they bought a used one from someone and got scammed. Never got the wig, or got a ratty piece of crap and lost their money, and now they're afraid to ever buy from anybody again because of that. And it's really a shame. It's unfortunate that happens, and it kind of ruins it for everybody. So just, to wrap it up, just be extra careful. Always keep records, take pictures, videos, talk to people, ask around, check profiles, and all of that. And if it seems too good to be true, or it seems fishy or shady, then play it safe and skip it. So hopefully this helps save some people money or heartache and stress. And if I missed anything else you're aware of, any other scams that I didn't mention or am not aware of myself, please comment and share them with me. I'd be happy to do another video and add to this if need be, or whatever. And if you're not already in the group, I'm one of the admins on a group called Wig Wisdom on Facebook. That's a support group for wig wearers. It's a great group, really fun women. We share a lot of advice and pictures. And also I run a group called Flip Your Wig, which is just strictly for selling, selling and buying used or new unwanted wigs and hair pieces, toppers, and all of that. It's for, private sellers. And vendors in the U.S. are allowed to post like clearance deals if they have a wig on clearance and it's a special discounted deal. You'll see some of those too. But it's not a place for companies to come like post ads. It's just for deals to save people money. So if you have wigs you want to sell that you no longer wear or want, or maybe it just didn't fit you, you're welcome to join Flip Your Wig and list it for sale there. And join Wig Wisdom for support and sharing ideas and learning about wigs and fun. So we'll see you there. Bye.